Moscow is the capital of the Russian Federation and with over 11 million inhabitants, the largest city of Europe and the seventh largest city in the world. Moscow is no longer the unfriendly communist city of the Cold War. Nowadays, Moscow is a pearl among the major cities in Europe with beautiful restored historical buildings and many tourist attractions that can be explored freely. Well known are the many golden steeples and the Matryoshka dolls. New are the wealthy people of the city and their love for fast and expensive cars and slim women with whom they like to show up. The entrance to the Red Square goes through the Resurrection Gate. In front of the Resurrection Gate are many small stalls that offer typical souvenirs, Matryoshka dolls and other accessories with all sorts of celebrities and the typical Russian fur hats. In front of the Resurrection Gate is a brass plate with a 0 point of the city. The distance to Moscow is measured from there. It is told that it brings luck to throw a coin over your shoulder standing on this plate. The Kremlin and the Red Square are the central points in Moscow and since 1990 on the UNESCO list of World Cultural Heritage. From here start all visits of the city and from here all other city attractions can easily be reached. The panoramic view of the Red Square, the historical museum, the Resurrection Gate, the Kazan Cathedral, the Gum department store, St. Basil's Cathedral and the Kremlin with the Lenin Mausoleum in front. Many visitors endure patiently waiting time and intensive security checks to take a look at the embalmed corpse of Lenin. A real beauty is the St. Basil's Cathedral at the end of the Red Square. The Gum department store is a beautiful building and doesn't need to hide behind the other large department stores of the capitals of Europe. Even the toilets on the ground floor are artwork made of marble. Behind the high and wide walls of the Kremlin is the official residence of the President of Russia, but also some accessible attractions, including a museum and several churches. Directly at the Kremlin wall is the grave of the unknown soldier with the eternal fire. The 1730 cast 6.14 meter or 20.1 feet tall and almost 200 tons Tsar bell, and thus the heaviest bell in the world, has never rung. The damage occurred before it could be used. Also the 39-ton Tsar cannon with caliber 900 mm from the 16th century has never fired a shot. The famous Bolshoi Theatre, not far from the Red Square, offers 1,800 audience seats. The Arbeit Street is a pedestrian street west of the Red Square, and it's a popular shopping street with lots of small shops, pubs and cafes. Easy to find on the banks of the Moskva River stands the magnificent Cathedral of Christ the Savior. The original cathedral was destroyed during the Stalin reign in 1931 and rebuilt in the year 2000. Directly opposite of the cathedral is the old chocolate factory Red October on an island in the Moskva River. Today the building contains art and fashion shops, pubs and patio bars for the rich and famous. In front of the old chocolate factory rises the 98-meter-high Peter the Great statue. It was built in 1997 and is one of the highest statues in the world. On the opposite bank of the Moskva River is the sculpture park, which is called the Fallen Monument Park. Stalin, Marx, Lenin, Brezhnev and many others have found place there. Continuing along the banks of the Moskva, you arrive at the Gorky Park, the good weather weekend meeting point of the Muscovites. Some of the metro stations in Moscow are underground palaces, which were built in the Stalin era. The Moscow metro system is one of the deepest tunnel and station systems in the world and is a must for a visit to this beautiful city.